The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world.
When people see photographs of Saturn taken from the Voyager 2 spacecraft, the typical response is, "Wow." All the other planets appear as simple disks with a few surface features, but Saturn's rich system of rings makes it look more like a piece of celestial jewelry. Composed of trillions of tiny moonlets which are made up of particles of water ice, these rings orbit Saturn, giving it a stunning, three-dimensional appearance quite different from any other planet. Saturn's beautiful, brilliant rings look young. If Saturn's rings were as old as evolutionists claim, then micrometeorite bombardment would have blackened the icy ring particles, making them look dark and sooty.
As beautiful as Saturn's rings are, they are also relatively delicate. Scientists have discovered that they are disappearing. It is believed that they acquire a charge from the sun's ultraviolet light and plasma clouds. They are then drawn down to Saturn's surface by its magnetic field and its gravity. Recent studies have estimated that up to 6 Olympic-sized pools of ring matter rain down on Saturn every hour. Evolutionists claim that Saturn is about 4 billion years old. At the current rate of ring rain, the rings around Saturn could not possibly be that old. So, evolutionists are now changing their story, saying that the rings must have been recently added to Saturn. But these ideas don't hold water either. This is more evidence of a recent creation. This picture shows Titan, which is Saturn's largest moon. It looks like a tiny orange dot in the sky, and is the only known moon in our solar system that has a thick atmosphere. It is orange because its atmosphere includes methane and other hydrocarbons. The presence of methane in its atmosphere is a mystery for anyone who believes that it is billions of years old, since ultraviolet radiation from the sun would have broken down the methane a long time ago.
On another Saturn moon, Enceladus, the Cassini spacecraft discovered geysers shooting up icy materials. This tells us that Enceladus has significant amounts of heat inside of it. That is a problem for people who believe that the solar system is billions of years old, because the heat inside Enceladus should have escaped long ago.
There is a slight problem for evolutionists with Mercury's magnetic field. If it is billions of years old, as they claim, it should no longer have a measurable magnetic field. However, in 1974, the Mariner 10 spacecraft measured a substantial magnetic field for this tiny planet.
It is important to note that in 1984, Dr. D. Russell Humphreys developed a mathematical model that accounted for the current strength of the Earth's magnetic field. His model was based on a biblically described creation and an age of about 6,000 years.
I know, you're probably thinking, big deal. He made the model fit the data for the Earth. Well, the big deal is that he later applied this same model to our solar system. When he did that, he correctly identified the measured field strengths of Mercury and 4 other planets.
And even more amazing, he then predicted the unknown field strengths of 2 additional planets, which were later verified to be correct. If that wasn't enough, he also predicted the expected decay rate of Mercury's magnetic field. This prediction was confirmed by the 2008 to 2013 Messenger spacecraft flight.
It is important to remember that these correct estimates and predictions all come from a model which assumes our solar system is about 6,000 years old. When you look at the stars, you will probably first notice that some are brighter than others. But, if you study them, you'll also find that they can be different colors. Blue stars are hotter than red stars. Scientists call some of these blue stars blue stragglers. They are massive and extremely hot.
Evolutionists claim that star clusters containing these blue stragglers are billions of years old. There is a problem with that though. These stars are so hot, and use up their hydrogen so rapidly, that they should not exist anymore if they were formed billions of years ago.
And that is perhaps an understatement. They are so short-lived that if they've been around that long, they should have evolved, into other types of stars billions of years ago? The simplest answer to this evolutionary dilemma is to conclude that God created the universe about 6,000 years ago. Just like the Bible tells us.
Looking at the world around us, it is obvious that our world is made up of a big variety of building blocks that we call elements. We call these building blocks carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, iron, calcium, copper, gold, and a bunch more. As far as we know, there are about 92 naturally occurring elements in the universe. The origin of many of these elements is a problem for evolutionists. Their standard answer is that elements were formed by either nuclear fusion or a process called neutron capture in the stars. That idea is not feasible for many elements, however. It would take an unbelievable amount of energy to do that, particularly for elements heavier than iron. Scientists don't know of anywhere in the universe that has enough energy for either of these processes to form all of the known elements.
Comets are one of the most majestic sights in the night sky. A new friend, Calvin, will tell us more about them.
Hi. My name is Calvin. I am a comet. Some people describe me as a dirty, cosmic snowball that orbits the sun. That is because I am made up of ice, other frozen gases, rock, and dust. When my orbit gets close to the sun, it heats me up and releases dust and gases. They form a beautiful glow around me, which then goes into a tail that stretches away from the sun, for millions of miles. Thank you for listening to my story. Goodbye.
Since they are vaporizing, comets have a limited lifetime. They evaporate so fast that they should last only thousands of years, not billions, or even millions. We do not know of any way that new comets are being produced. So, the fact that there are comets tells us that our solar system and the universe is very, very young.
The stars near the center of the beautiful spiral galaxies rotate around their cores faster than stars at the perimeters. If they were billions of years old, they would have blended into disc-shaped galaxies by now. This is more evidence of a youthful universe.
One of the most difficult questions asked of creationists is, if the universe is only a few thousand years old, how can we see stars that are billions of light years away? The short answer is, we don't know. But there are several possibilities being investigated. Unfortunately, the mathematics and science supporting these approaches are too difficult for most of us to understand. But we might be able to simplify the descriptions enough at least to give us an appreciation for them. Let's begin by considering some things that we all experience, but which scientists really don't fully understand.
We all regularly experience life, gravity, light, and time. But even as common as they are still great mysteries to science. We know things about them, but we really don't understand them. We don't think life will impact starlight getting to Earth, so let's look closer at gravity, light, and time.
Let's start by thinking about what the phrase, "stars are billions of light years away," means. It implies that light would take that many years to reach Earth. We are pretty confident that we can estimate how many miles the stars are from the Earth. But we are much less confident about how long it takes light to travel that distance. No one has ever measured how long it takes light to travel from one point to another point.
As shown in this diagram, we can measure how long it takes light to go from one point to another and back to the original point. The average speed to do that is 186,000 miles per second. So, we are pretty confident that the time it would take for light to go from these distant stars to Earth and return to the stars would be 26 billion years. But we really don't know how long it takes to get to us. There is no evidence that light speed is the same in both directions, only that the average of the round trip is a constant, 186,000 miles per second. There can be other factors that impact light speed in various directions.
Now, let's look at a recent map showing a redshift analysis of galaxies in our visible universe. This is formed by dots representing about 1 million galaxies. It shows how far each of these galaxies are from us. We are the dot in the center. You might expect to see the galaxies just randomly scattered around us. But, instead, they appear to be arranged in circles or spheres, with us in the very center.
Scientists don't know yet if this is real information about the celestial arrangement or a result caused by the redshift analysis process. If it really is its structure, then the Earth could be at the center of the universe.
If the Earth is near the center of the universe, then we are also at the bottom of something called a gravity well. To better understand the possible impact of a gravity well, imagine if a well were dug from your location straight down all the way to the center of the Earth. That would be a gravity well. If you fell into it, and if there wasn't any air to causing wind resistance, gravity would make you fall faster and faster. By the time you got to the center of the Earth, which would be about 21 minutes later, you would be going over 17,000 miles per hour.
We know that gravity impacts light. Gravity bends light around massive bodies, and we think that light can't escape from black holes because of their strong gravity. If gravity can also make light go faster, then the gravity well from stars to Earth could make it travel very fast. Perhaps nearly infinitely fast. From what we do know about the speed of light, it theoretically could be possible. And that could explain how we can see light from distant stars.
We also know that gravity will impact how fast time passes. A clock at the top of a mountain runs faster than a clock at sea level, although the amount is too small for most of us to ever notice. So, if you ask the question how old is a star, you'd also have to specify if you want it measured with a clock on Earth or one somewhere else in the universe. If the Earth is near the center of the universe, some scientists have developed the mathematics to characterize the time required for us to see distant starlight. It is complicated, but they have shown that it would be possible for us to see distant stars in a young Earth timeframe. To wrap this all up, we have seen that many of the celestial wonders cannot be billions, or even millions, of years old. That there is no known or proposed valid mechanism to form the basic elements of the universe. And that there are some possible explanations how we can see the distant stars and galaxies in a young universe. We are finding that as we continue to understand more about the world around us, the new knowledge invariably affirms an incredible special creation only a few thousand years ago. This should motivate us to explore the remaining mysteries of the universe, so that we can delight in discovering more information about God's amazing handiwork.
The heavens do declare the glory of God. Even though no sound is heard from them, yet their voice goes out into all the earth, and their words to the end of the world.